Hey, what's up, you guys? Back out in the Land Cruiser 80 today. I'm up in the mountains and it's raining. Currently raining right now. It's pretty wet. So the last video was a week ago. Today is the following Friday, just to give you some perspective. And leading up to that video, there was rain. You know, I was talking about a little monsoon rain every afternoon, every day. And then the forecast said heavy rains all week between then and now. And it didn't rain. I mean, the clouds were there. It rained all over Arizona, but it didn't rain where I was at. We just got clouds. I mean, it rained a little bit, but nothing to match what their forecast said. But last night we had a good storm roll in. Again, late in the afternoon, it hit us, thunder, lightning, you know, typical monsoon. And then right now it's 1:30 in the afternoon, and I got the clouds rolling in. It rained on the way up here. Ground's pretty wet, but this is the other forest that I was talking about. So the last video I talked about that area that I was in. I really love that area, the Ponderosa pines. I'll give you a peek at what these are. So this area here, it's just they're not as tall. The pines are not as tall. They're not as thick. They're skinnier. I guess it's just a different part of the family of the pine tree. And it's not so much, oh man, I tell you, low range in this thing is pretty low. I'm cruising in low range, just because coming up into this area, it's a pretty good steep area I got to climb up, and low range just seems to crawl up that area. But it's different. It's a lot rockier here. There's these rocks like that grow that green kind of lichen on it. And then we've got the other rocks, kind of like these. I'll show you. They look like they're filled with iron or something. So those are those rocks, and then the green rocks that are just completely covered with lichen. I guess it's lichen. The track, this road here has definitely gotten washed out over the last couple of weeks. Reports this morning said we're up to about 4 to 5 inches so far this monsoon season, which is 4 to 5 inches more than we got last year. Last year sucked. Last year was terrible. Wow, what a view. So this area here that I'm in, it's not as vast as the other forest. It's big, but there's a lot more steep, sharp hills here. Again, which is what makes it so unique from each other, right? Yes, they're pine forests, but that one's more clay, and you got big flat areas with bigger mountains. Here, it's a lot rockier. The ground is full of rocks. The ground is like impregnated in on these tracks. So even though it's wet, it's not muddy. It's just wet and rocky. But there's just steep hills like everywhere. There's an embankment here. There's a drop off on this side. And the rain is coming in my windows. Hold the phone. Raindrops keep falling on my head. It's actually coming down pretty good now. Look at this area in front. So my windshield is like pitted, it's cracked, it's everything. So if you can't see through it, sorry about that. I plan on replacing it soon. So I've kind of done something, I've done a dumb thing, something against my own advice. Hopefully it won't cost me. But I still had my shovel, my traction boards, my tools, and all that stuff in the back from last weekend. But I had this parked in the garage because I've been trying to sand and fix some little paint well, there's a lot of paint imperfections, but there was some big ones on the back, like good sized chips that had rusted, and it started to kind of like, anyway, I was sanding them and doing touch-up paint just to stop the rust. So I had it in the garage. So I haven't been giving my doggy a ride in this. We've been going in the Hippo, the 100 series. But this morning, and he loves this one because, again, the windows, he sticks his head out the back window. So I pulled it out this morning to go take him for a ride, and I had all that stuff in there. So what did I do? I took it all out. And now, later in the afternoon, I'm out in it, and I didn't put it all back in. So I'm out in what could possibly turn into mud, and I don't have my shovel. I don't have my shovel. I don't have my traction boards. I don't have my toolbox. I don't have my jack. I don't have my jump starter. All that stuff is in. I got like a milk crate for the tools and jump starter and jack, and then, you know, the shovel and bag. Anyway, I'm not really that far in. Like I said, this stuff, you can look and see, it's rocky. So those rocks, you know, they prevent it from getting super muddy and give you traction. But if I go up this hill in front of me here, where that squirrel's running up, this hill for the next mile or two, no rocks, and it gets super duper muddy. I actually came through here about 3 years ago in the Jeep. I had to go fully locked, both axles locked, 4 low, pedal to the floor, because there was already trenches where people had gone through here and basically tore up the track, and I was trying to get out from deeper in, and it was mud, like mud, but not just mud, but you're going uphill and all that kind of stuff, right? So your gravity's against you. So I know how treacherous this area can become. I really want to go up there. There's no real place to turn around for a while. You got to kind of go up and around this mountain, so maybe we'll go up it. This was definitely a mistake. oh yeah, this was a mistake. I forgot about this. I came through here when it was right at the end of the snow season, and it was raining, and I remember sliding down this whole hill in the Black Bear because of the mud. It's pretty bad. It's like I'm trying not to spin. I'm trying not to throw. I didn't want to go mudding today because I don't really want to fill this thing with mud. I'm still doing work on it, you know. But you guys, I talked enough about the tires last week. You know what I've got on this. I'm still climbing the hill. Maybe up here I might be able to get like a 16-point turn. Oh wow, it is super. It's not that I'm spinning my wheels, I'm sliding like straight sideways. I think I can turn around here. Yeah, I just, without all that stuff, any recovery stuff, out here by myself, I can't go back too far because it drops off back there. See right there? That drops off. If I start sliding backward. All right, we're gonna head back down this hill. I don't know if I'll be able to show you how I'm sliding, but the rain stopped. Oh, what a view though, huh? Man, I can feel some serious and hear some serious, that's thunder, mud going up in my wheel wells. Man, I'm gonna have to clean all this stuff out. You figure it's like once you get a little bit of mud, you just, oh, that's it, I'm gonna do donuts, you know? If I'm gonna get muddy, I'm gonna get muddy. None of this pussyfooting around, you know? It wasn't so bad coming down. I didn't really slide at all, just got a little mushy. Going up, obviously, again, gravity against you, I was sliding toward, because it's a little off camber toward the drop off. But I'm back down now, back down by where the dirt has more rocks in it and stuff. So last week I was talking about the fires, right? And kind of what they do. Well, this area here behind me is an area that they did something locally. So they they had trees marked, and if you look at any of my videos over the past couple of years, when I'm in the forest, you would see like spray paint marks on trees. And I'm saying, even when I'm literally in the middle of nowhere, like middle of nowhere, they made it out there and they marked trees. Now, some of them were to cut to thin out the forest. Some were to cut based off of like an infection from a beetle or something. But what they did in an area just like this one here is they would cut them down and they would pile everything up here, all the underbrush. They would take the logs out and hopefully use them, right? The main part of the tree, but they would do these burn piles. And this flat area here, it's probably hard to see. It's getting pretty dark with these clouds, but you can see how there's a fair amount of debris there, and it's charred. And when it came around time like this, winter time or monsoon time, they would come back out after the pile had been sitting there for a few years, maybe a year, and burn it, right? And that's how they clear this stuff out. And I'm telling you guys, it makes a huge difference. I don't know if this little microphone will pick that up. It's not super loud, but it's pretty bassy up there. But again, this thing is doing pretty good. I'm definitely not in anything very extreme. I've taken, out of all the three Toyotas that I own, the Lexus GX470 is the one I've really pushed the most. I've been up here doing laps around this whole area back here in the snow, and when it's snow and when it's sleeting, mud, all that stuff, and it did really good. And I also took it up into that, there was a video not too long ago where it was like an apocalyptic wasteland. It was a little burn area, and I was pretty far back, like way off the beaten path. If something would have happened back in there, I might have had to walk maybe 5 miles just to try and get cell service, because it was down in these valleys, these crazy valleys. But it's a really, really neat area to off-road and to camp. There's like, oh, everywhere, every turn is a like, oh, look at this camp spot. Oh, look at this camp spot. I don't know if you remember, if you saw that video, I came to the end of the path and there was a gate. I could have opened it and went through, but I didn't. But I showed like this natural, like rock waterfall, dry creek. I bet you right now that sucker's flowing like crazy. That sucker's probably flowing like crazy. Yeah, I tried to do, this hood is all oxidized and it's lost its clear coat. I think it's a combination of, it's like one of the flattest surface plus all the heat from the motor. Usually these are completely gone. It's kind of, you look at the fender and you see how much darker the fender is versus this. This is the color it's supposed to be. This is all oxidized. So what I did was I went to Harbor Freight and I bought one of those, you know, polisher, like a random orbital machine. And I got some Meguiar's compound, not like heavy abrasive one. And I went over it a little bit. It took off a little bit of the white, but I think what the problem is the clear coat's gone. So there's no polishing base coat. You know, you polish, you compound, you color sand, all that's the clear coat, right? Not the base coat. So, I mean, look, the paint's by far from perfect on this whole vehicle, but I just have a problem. The hood is this giant thing that I stare at when I'm driving all the time. So I did get some paint for the fender flares. So I sanded this one a little bit. You can see the top here is gone and then the rest. So I sanded this a little bit and I'm gonna take it off and I'll sand it the rest of the way. On eBay, I was able to, there's a company that will color match and put it in spray cans for you. So I got a primer, a plastic based primer, like an etching primer. I got the base coat of Moon Glow from Toyota. Toyota's number, I forget what it is, 1A5, 1A6. Those are the two colors on here, I think. Anyway, it's Moon Glow Pearl. So I got a base primer, the base color, and a clear coat, all in spray cans. And I'm gonna try and do the fender flares. I mean, you know, like I said, this thing's gonna be an off-roader, so it's good that it's not in the best shape, but you know, if you can fix something here and there and make it look a little bit better. Plus it's fun. I've never done anything with body work. I mean, I've spray painted plenty of things, but never something that's supposed to turn out to look really nice. Mostly just like metal things that I've welded up and you paint them so they don't rust. Anyway, that's a pretty big, it's not even a cloud. The whole sky is just, it's gone. It's just this monsoon thingy wanting to get me. And I've got three and a half miles of dirt to get out of here, and then I can hit the road, and hopefully it'll be raining on the pavement coming out of the mountains and I can clear some of this off. Thank you guys for all the stuff on the last video, because I'm really in a quandary about that whole navigation setup and system, and a few of you have really passed on some good information. So I started doing some research. Even some guys from the military were talking about what they do. And a lot of it really was, look, the tablet and or your phone, right, with one of these things on it. And a lot of people use Gaia GPS, and a lot of people swear by it, you know. Maybe I'm just lazy. I don't know. I have a tablet. I never told you what it was. It's an older tablet. It's an NVIDIA tablet, right? NVIDIA, the graphics card company, they made the Shield tablet. And I don't know if they still make it. I think it's basically a Galaxy tab with some NVIDIA stuff branding on it. I'm not sure. It works good. I originally got that when I first bought my drone, so it's 2014 is when I got it probably. That's when I bought my first drone, back before they were the trendy thing to do. Yeah, 2014 I had my Phantom 4 when they first came out. It's raining on me. And I was using it to fly it because I like the bigger screen. I don't know, my phone, you know, it's whatever. So that's what I have. And I used Backcountry Navigator. It's a free program, and I don't know if it's only in the whatever not the app store for, not the iTunes store or whatever that is. It's just for Samsung, maybe. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. But it's pretty good, but you have to download all these things offline, and I never know how much detail to do, right? Because if you do like all the detail, it's so big of files. I probably do like 100 times too much detail. Wow, it's really raining on me. So, yeah, man, oh, I love it. I just want to stay out here. You know, last week, that video, I didn't stay out there long enough. As soon as I got home, I'm like, man, I should still be out there. Like right now. I just want to, what I'll probably do is I'm probably going to come back up here tomorrow. I may film some more and put it in this video. Just make it a, because I came up, like I said, it was 1:30. It's probably around 2 or so right now. And this is close enough to my house that if it looks clear at my house, I can come up here and drive around, sit. I'd love to cook some food up here. It's so fresh, you know, just a drizzle of rain, no sun bearing down on me. The ground is wet. It smells fresh. It's about 65 degrees up here. It's 72 down at my place. I hope you guys can hear that. It's a different type of thunder. It's almost like non-stop. Little cracklings, it just keeps crackling and not like the lightning flash and then the big thunder boom. This whole thing is just crackling above me, like, it's interesting. Can you guys see the cloud up there? Did you hear that? It's just like a weird snap, crackle, pop. It's not loud at all, but it's continuous. Maybe, I think this cloud, I can't really see because I am on top of the mountain, but I'm kind of in the valley of the mountain. And off that way drops down into a big valley that runs like 40 miles of valley. And it's weird. This is weird. I'm not seeing any lightning, just thunder. So last night, I guess down in Scottsdale, they got 2 inches in like 6 hours, and 50 mile an hour gusts. So many trees, you know, they have all these trees and they try and make it like Palm Springs almost there in Scottsdale. They had some pretty good devastation there. It's pretty bad. It's a shame to see there was some really big, like kind of, I wouldn't say old growth, but they look like that, right? Just laying over on their side, pulled out, because they got swamped with water and then the wind just, you know, crashed them over. All right, well, I'm gonna get out of here before it really starts to come down on me.